I was quoted early on as saying I always wanted to be a museum when I grew up. Where that came from, I don't know. As I would see an artifact, I would pick it up and say, huh, there's a real story in there. And then flash forward 50 years, I have 3 storage units full of stories. I recognized that if I surrounded myself with beautiful things, I was much happier than if I surrounded myself with things that made me bitter. So I have worked in that direction, and as you see, all of a sudden, in 50 years, have come into my keeping a bunch of beautiful things that tell a story of civilization that is beyond the reach of words. My interest in history probably began in 11th or 12th grade when I took world history, and I had a history teacher who let us in on the low down and dirty about history. And I thought, oh, it's more interesting than the basic cartoon outline of history, which, you know, Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492, doesn't tell the whole story. The theater of memory is oriented in a way where anybody can come in and get the information and be enriched somehow therein. People take on information orally and visually and tactily. How many times has somebody put into your hands a historical document, an ancient artifact, a fossil, a shell, a meteorite? How many times has anybody put those in your hands? Social engagements when it was the U.S. consul in Liverpool. So that's free frames. When somebody... How did I end up joining the military? Well, there was a time in American history when it was not really a choice. I enlisted for band and they put me in the infantry anyway. So it really wasn't a choice. I realized that we were not saving the people of Vietnam. This was a culture that existed for thousands of years, and I was from a 200-year-old nation, and I was basically a barbarian. That's one thing. What's the difference between right and wrong? You can tell when it comes right down to it. But since I have survived it and I am intact, I would not trade it for anything in the world. I have learned to recognize that my opinions of right and wrong are as valid as anybody's. And I cannot be tricked like I was when I went into the Army, my country right or wrong. Well, sometimes it's really wrong. And you have to pay attention to what's going on. If you're really going to be a citizen, you have to pay attention. I got out of the field because I got malaria. I became an entertainment coordinator for special services. I am much more suited to entertain and make people happy than to kill them. It's just in my nature. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Theater of Memory. It's such a pleasure to have you here. Today, we get to have live music acoustically presented just like they would have been 150 years ago. It's a renewable resource. It's something that you can do that costs nothing, is to make people happy. It used to be that there were many little places to go hear music. Those venues have kind of dried up. I first founded the Theater of Memory in 1994 up in the old Opera House in High Springs as a place where people could come and play music with an audience that was there to hear them.
It's very different for us to sing here as opposed to where we have already sung. We usually sing at places where the audience is pretty far removed from us and aren't really concentrating on us as much as this audience does.
It makes you feel good when
Yeah.
when you think people really appreciate your music.
Yeah, how different is this than when you sing in a bar?
Well, we'll let you know after we sing in a bar.
I invited you to this place because this Thomas Center for the Arts is such a huge part of my life. After the building was redone in 1979, the city saw fit to create a Department of Cultural Affairs. I started doing contract work for the city at that time. And I continued doing contract work for the next 40 years. And so this has felt like home to me for a long time. Then you think, what can I do to make the place better? At first I went, to the commission meetings, say, well, I need to make a difference here. And I finally decided that it was easier to make a difference in people's hearts than their minds. And so I went more into the arts. The Veterans for Peace, for years and years, used this as their venue to raise the funds once a year. And I was always in charge of that. And so that was a beautiful thing of community. And I don't want to seem like I'm harping on that, but so much of what the arts is community, everybody enjoying them together. And that's what makes a difference in a community, is if you can all enjoy things together that uplift. Everybody felt welcome, and I mean everybody. So that was a major thing. We are the city of Gainesville. We are cultural affairs. We are working for the city. We are working for the people, So the fact that we could pull this off for so long was a wonderful thing. But we are now in a situation where all of the federal and state funding for the arts has been eliminated. So I'm not sure of the future, but I bet that it will continue pretty much unabated because the drive to do it is so great. I guess I was in my 77th year when, I thought, I could spend more attention, pay more attention to the theater of memory. And so that's, how it happened. Learning is a healing thing in as much as it expands your awareness. And as your awareness expands, you take in things other than your own personal problems and your own nightmare memories. Every time you learn something, it expands your sense of time and place and makes you a bigger person. That bigger person has bad memories that become less and less. To a great extent, it engenders in me a feeling of compassion that I might not have discovered had I not known the lives of other people so intimately.